guys doing today? We have Charlie's Angels on today. We are all ready for you. We are ready to be blushed up, contoured, bronze, all the good things that have come out this week. We're going to be talking about, I'm going to show you guys the Patrick Ta. I'm going to use this in another video, but I want to show you guys the Patrick Ta. I got the, it's the She's Not Left on Red, since we're doing kind of like a blush video today. Of course, we have the brand new Yves Saint Laurent blush. It's the Make Me Blush. I'm just so excited. It's so pretty. I can't wait for you guys to see it. And then we have the Natasha Denona, her brand new, it's the High Blush, which is the Cream Cheek Duo. I have been trying these products out. I want to try it with you. And I also have the new Rare Beauty Liquid Contour, because some of you asked me if I would review this, and I thought we would play with it. So before we do any powder or anything, I actually even have two new makeup brushes. One from Natasha Denona, it's a duo, and we also have a Makeup by Mario. So I'm really excited to play with these new products with you guys. If you guys are interested in any of these blushes or the contour, and you kind of want to know my thoughts or whatever, then stick around and keep on watching. Okay, guys, I know you guys are going to ask me what kind of lip combo I've got on. So this is the Willy Wonka lipstick from Glam. It's the whole lip kit. So in the lip kit, you get a lip liner, and she's just really pretty, like brown color. And then this is almost like it's a very 90s kind of lip. And then it's a really pretty brown. A lot of you guys that were talking, asking me about like the mocha mousse look. This would be a really pretty look for a mocha mousse look. And then this is the lip gloss. So the lip gloss is a really pretty, she's this really pretty brownish caramel latte kind of. It's very liquidy. It's a liquidy lip gloss. It's not really super thick or anything like that. But I know you guys will probably ask me about it, but this little lip kit, I'll leave it down below if you guys want to go over and check it out. I think the lip kits are like, they're like 12 bucks or something, and you get the whole thing or something. They're not real expensive, and most of the time Glam Light's on sale. So anyway, with that said, moving on, because we've got some stuff to discuss today. We have new blush today. You know, a couple weeks ago when I said, do we really need any more blush? No, but you know what happened? We got more blush. So, so anybody that I was shaming out there, you can shame on me. We got more blush. But you know what? Everybody was asking me about these, and they were like, will you please go, and check into them? And Natasha Denona sent me, I had a gratis. So I picked up the blush, and I was able to pick up the blush brush, or the brush that goes with it, with her Hygiene formula. And while I was at it, I was like, well, if I'm going to do blush, I was really interested. I don't have a red. So I picked up the Patrick Ta red. And then I immediately saw this YSL. And I was like, well, you know what? Maybe it's prettier than I think it's going to be. And then somebody asked me about this. So here we are. So up first, this is the Rare Beauty. This is the Liquid Contour. Here's the box. Yeah, I have the box with it. This is the shade Solace. It's a contouring liquid. Other than that, that's it. It's a dewy, weightless, easy to blend liquid that you can lightly sculpt your cheeks. So anyway, this is what it looks like. Of course, if you guys know Selena brand, it has this really pretty little applicator, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on the back of my hand. That is the color, and I'm just to show you really quickly on the back. I got a lot because it's very pigmented, but you guys can kind of see what the shade looks like up close. So that is what Solace looks like. I think she has was it 6 or 7 of these, I think is what she has. But I'm very careful. I've played with this once. I've got to play with this once. So I kind of want to do a little bit of contour here. And I have not powdered. If you guys were going to be powder, I will powder in this one. If you guys saw my, about to drop it, the Anastasia foundation, and you want to see what it looks like powder and all that stuff, we're going to do that in a little bit. But I wanted to do this before so I could do a little bit, because most of the time her liquids don't do very well. If you're powdered already, you have to do it before you powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this brand new Makeup by Mario brush, and we're going to use this little end here. And I just wanted to try it because everybody has talked about this brush, and I finally broke down and I thought, well, I don't have any of his brushes. And I'm not super crazy about his line, so I thought maybe I might really enjoy his brush. So I had some extra points on my Sephora and I just had to pick it up. Okay, so let's tap. But so she's definitely more of a cooler tone. So let's take it back a little bit closer to my ear here. Because my cheeks are round. I've got a more round face. So I try to keep it up a little bit more up above my bone. Now, if I let my beard grow out and if I do a little bit of beard or whatever, you could see the cheekbone more. But I can see it, definitely. The shading is better than like a bronzer. And I put on a little bit more than I did. The other day, I barely did a little bit, so I really couldn't tell much. Because sometimes these products, they last good on me, and sometimes they don't. Probably went down a little bit too far, but... Oh, you can see it. Okay. I mean, you can really see the, see how it looks more like sunken in on the side. And see how this one looks more, it's got more of an edge to it. So, okay, it blends really nicely. I mean, which, am I surprised? No, because I mean, all the time, all of Selena's products usually blend really well. I really do enjoy her. I love her bronzing stick. I love that because it is so good. Take a little bit further here too. And I love her liquid blushes. They're just very, very pigmented, so you don't need very much of them at all. But this is really nice because, I mean, especially if you want to contour, like some people like to contour and they don't like to bronze. Because bronzing sometimes is a little bit too much for them. And most of these do look more on the cooler side. So, yeah, I mean, let's just take a little bit more up in here. I always take a little bit up in here too because of my face being so round. And then back this way. Back to here, try to go back to my ear. This side always seems to be more puffy on me than this side. I don't know. I mean, it's like usually now if I was about, 20 pounds thinner, we wouldn't have to contour stuff. We'd probably, but anyway, is back in the day when we were like, a 28-inch waist. Oh God, but that looks good though. I gotta say, it looks really pretty. The thing is a lot of these, it reminds me a little bit of the Makeup by Mario, his sculpting, that it's not his liquid that he came out with that was in the pump and it had the thing to, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, except his is a little bit more warmer and this is a little bit more cooler. But it's like, do I really feel like is this something that you need? I mean, really, if we think about it, this $28 that we need to spend. I mean, not really. I mean, do you have something like this already? I mean, probably. I mean, if you got a bronzer or something, you probably really don't need this. But I mean, you can see it did warm up the skin, or not warm it up, but it's got that cool tone to it. It did bring more definition here. So you can see the definition a little bit more. Because this, and I don't know, maybe I might have should have got a darker color. Because this one is like a medium, I think. Because there's like two other ones before this one. But I felt like it was dark enough. So, but it just, my skin just eats up color. So I don't know if I'm not getting a dark enough shade. But even with the Makeup by Mario, when I got it, it was like a medium to dark. And it still just evaporated into my skin. So, but for what it is, I like it. I mean, we're going to do a little powder over it and, do some bronzer. So we'll see when we come back and we'll kind of make a better suggestion with it maybe, before we do the blush. Cause I wanted to do, powder and everything before we do blush. Cause since we're doing more powder blushes. So yeah, so let me go and powder and we'll see what it kind of looks like once we powder and everything. You guys, this lip gloss tastes just like chocolate, like a dark chocolate. Every time I keep tasting, I'm like, oh, that tastes like chocolate. So anyway, so this is what it looks like powdered. I just went right over it, and I used the Huda Beauty. This is the Uber birthday cake powder, and we set it with that. So this is what the foundation looks like too when it's powdered, just so you guys FYI. But yeah, you can still see it. It didn't go a lot. It didn't move or anything. So it stayed on really well. I didn't powder it down that much the other day. I was just playing with it a little bit. I barely did anything when I went to work. I was just putting some on just to try it. But yeah, I mean, I think it does good. Again, do we need to spend $28 on a liquid? I don't know. But anyway, I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's really pretty. It's just like her other products. It's very liquidy. A little bit goes a long way. You've got a ton in here, so you're not going to need a lot. I mean, it's going to take you forever to use this. So that's the good thing about a lot with her brand is it takes forever to use her products because they just last forever. But yeah, I mean, it looks good and it looks really nice. It blended in really nice. It didn't get, you know, I don't think it got patchy or anything like that. So I wouldn't put it over powder though. Again, her products do not work well over powder. Or I know that most of the ones that I've tried on my skin, it does not work well over powder. You have to do it on a bare face before you do powder, if you do powder. But yeah, so now we're ready to dive into the blush. Okay. So do we want to do a little, wait a minute, you know what? I'm jumping ahead of myself. Where did I do my bronzer? Where is the bronzer? Okay. Oh, here it is. I got it hid. She's hidden beneath the lid. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bronze and glow real quick. Let me just get a little bit of this Mari. I'm gonna take a little bit and we're just gonna go over just to add a little bit warmth to the face real fast, just to give a little something. I like this brush, by the way. It is kind of convenient. It's really cool because it kind of does like a little bit of everything. So I'm kind of not mad at it. I'm kind of liking it. This brush. I'm sorry. I mean, this is the Natasha Denona, by the way. This is the Bronze and Glow. I'm just using the bronzer side. I'm not going to use the highlight. So, because I think that we're going to do, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do two different blushes. We're going to do the YSL on one side and we're going to do the Natasha Denona on the other. So you guys can see it. The Patrick his blush, what is it? She Left Me on Red. I'm going to show it to you and then we will use this one in another video because I have been wearing this one and it is beautiful. And if you guys know, it's a Patrick Ta formula. It's the same formula. It's just, it stays on really well, especially when you powder it and you set it. It just looks really beautiful. Most of the time though, his blushes don't last on me. But this one does. So this is what She Left Me on Red looks like. So you guys can see. And it is like, it's really, really beautiful. So I'm going to take it. Look at that. It's really pretty. I'm going to swatch it for you. And that is one swatch. Look how rich she is. Very, very rich. Very, very, it's kind of a neutral red. So she's not too blue and she's not too orange. And she's not too brown. So she's kind of an in-between red. And then the cream that goes on top, I'm going to put her right here on the top, is beautiful. It has a little bit more cherry to it. So it's a little bit more cherry. See, it's got a little bit more, I feel like it's got more cool toned, a little more coolness to it. But this is a really beautiful blush and it works really good on the medium skin tones and definitely on a darker skin tone. I have seen lighter skin tones use it. And I think you can use it. You can manipulate it for you. I just don't think this would be a blush that you would use on the average. The reason why I picked it up, because normally I don't go gaga over a lot of his, because I've got at least I think like 4 of his blushes. And I don't go gaga over his blushes, but I don't have a red blush. I really looked at my collection. I was like, well, I don't really have a red blush. So it's not that it's an excuse, but I do like to have different blushes in different families. And I didn't have a red blush, especially one that looked like this. So it was kind of worth it for me to pick this one up. But I will do this in another video and let you guys see. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys for the ones that may really want to see what it looks like, because I don't want to do 2 different, 3, 4, 5 different blushes on me because of the lip and everything I have on. But see, look how the pigment, even trying to wipe it off, it stays. It's the staying power of the more pigmented of his blushes work really well. The other colors were really pretty, but it's like one is a real pink or a softer pink, and one is a mauve, and one is more of a, I think it's more of a plum or a brown. But this one just spoke to me more, and it is really beautiful. But today with you guys, I really wanted to show you these, the new YSL blush. And I got mine in the Make Me Blush. And this is what she looks like. She is more of the mauvier skin tone. There's 6 of these, and then there were 4 more that come out overseas. That we did not get here, that is not in stores, but on Sephora. No, I'm sorry, 7 of these in Sephora, and then there's 4 more that didn't come out over here. I'll try to put a picture up here real quick so you guys can see what it looks like. But this is the packaging. It looks beautiful. It has that really pretty pillow kind of a feel to it, just like the bronzers do. And then this is what she looks like when you open her up. She's really beautiful. This is one of the ones that has a shimmer to it. So she does have a very pretty glow to it. So this is a glowy one. They also have them in matte. I can't remember if I think there's 4 of the glowy ones and 3 of the matte ones, or 4 of the matte ones and 3 of the glowy ones. I can't remember, but this is what she looks like swatched. See how beautiful that is? It's a pink, but it's got a mauve hue to it, and it's got a beautiful glow to it. So I think we're going to do that on this side. But let me show you what the Natasha Denona looks beside of it. If I can get off this Patrick top. Because it's stuck on this. These particular shiny compacts drive me nuts because you get fingerprints all over it. But this is what Natasha looks like. The cover, it's really cute. It's very compact. I got mine in the shade Fresh Mauve is the color that I got. So this is what she looks like. So there's a cream, it's like a cream to powder highlighter, and then there's a blush beside of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swatch it. So it kind of goes on, you feel it looks kind of like wet looking. I'm gonna see if I can, let me see if I put it, I'm trying to figure out which way I could do it just where you guys can kind of see it. Let me put it a little bit further down so you guys can see. So this is what the cream looks like. So the cream is really pretty, but she dries down to that. It's almost kind of like it's got a little powder in it or something. It dries down to that. And then the highlighter looks like that, and then we're gonna put it, I'll put it right underneath it. And it's still creamy, but as you can see, it's still got a little bit of that creaminess to it. But then when you put it on the skin, it dries down. So that's what the highlighter looks like. If you guys can see it. Here, let me do it beside this on this side here so you guys can see it better here. I'm not very good at swatching. If you're new to my channel, I'm a hot mess all over the place, but you know what? It's okay. I've only been doing this for 30 years. You would think by now I would know how to do this, but I don't. I've been in the makeup industry, by the way, for 30 years, but that's what it looks like. It looks really pretty. It's kind of almost like a peachy. It's almost, even though it says mauve, it's more peachier than mauvier. So it's got more peach to it than more of a actual, you know, purple or pink undertone. Like you can definitely see the difference between it and the YSL, but I don't mind looking different on each side of my face. I could care less. I just want to get it on because I can't wait to try it. So I'm gonna wipe off my makeup to my Mario. We're gonna do the YSL with the makeup by with the makeup by Mario brush, and then I will do the Natasha Denona with her brush, with her Hydrogen blush. So I'm gonna go in and we're gonna put a little bit of the powder. I'm gonna tap a little bit off and kind of go up in here and let you guys see this powder is just, it's beautiful. See, look at the glow. See that glow there? You kind of buff it in a little bit because I want you to see when it looks really buffed in. I buffed it in the other day because I've tried it. And the pigment does last. Look at that. Look how pretty. It gives like this really, blurring effect to the skin. It really does. It kind of, it's a unique, it is unique. It's like, because the compact, the way that it looks reminds me a little bit of Gucci, but I feel like Gucci's a teeny tiny bit smaller than this one. And I give away my Gucci blush. I had one of them, and it was okay because everybody went nuts over them, and everyone was like, oh my God, it's so good, it's fabulous. And I bought one, and it was all right, but I just didn't feel like the pigment stayed with me. But now this is really beautiful. I have not swatched any of the other colors. I have seen other people that do have this, some of the other colors. I've seen other people or other creators use it, but this is just really beautiful. I'm gonna take it. I'm trying to build it up a little bit more so you guys can see what it looks like built up. I'm gonna take a little bit of my cheek here. So we're adding a lot of blush here, but it's okay. Don't worry about that. I like to take a little bit here and a little bit up here. I like to kind of go over my contour and my bronzer with the blush, but look how pretty that is. It just looks so smooth and it just blends in so well. I mean, I don't want to make it, because there's never an excuse for you to have to go out and spend $45 for a blush. And I'm not trying to get you guys to buy a blush, especially when you probably have a million of them. But a lot of people guys wanted my opinion on it. And can I tell that it's, I mean, or is it, do I feel like it's worth the $45? I would have to say, yeah. I feel like this is worth the price tag of the blush. Because, I mean, even though it's a YSL and the packaging is really pretty, can you find something that's similar to that? Oh, yeah. I mean, you can find something a lot cheaper than this that you wouldn't have to, but it is, if you're into luxury and you're looking for a little bit of a splurge, you want to treat yourself to a blush, you haven't really bought any makeup lately or something, or, you know, you want to treat yourself to something nice, this is really pretty. It is worth it to go pick it up. I mean, I don't know when these are going to hit the store because these were online only whenever I got this. So you could see the other colors to see which one you would like better. But it is just really smoothing. It's very blurring. I love the way that it looks. I'm going to take a little bit more here and just blend that down a little bit more. But it's beautiful. I mean, it looks really pretty on the skin. It blends right in, and it just leaves that beautiful flush, and it's got a beautiful glow. So you really typically, if you get the one with more of the highlight to it, or more of the shimmer to it, you won't really need a highlighter because it's already kind of got that in it. And this would also be great just to sweep a little bit on the lid and do more of a monochromatic look if you wanted to do something a little similar to the, with the lipstick or gloss similar to this color. But, you know, even with this more mocha brown, a mousse color, it looks really pretty with it. It still looks really nice and neutral. It's not too, it looked really pink on the back of my hand, but on my skin, it looks a little bit more, it's got a little bit more warmth to it. And I don't know if it's just because I put it over the bronzer or whatever, but it looks really, really beautiful. Okay, on the other side, we're going to do the Natasha Denona, the High Glam. And I'm going to go in with the stiff part first. Because I heard the highlighter we need to go in, but I'm trying to think of which one. I think I want to go in with the stiffer part first because it is a little bit more of a cream and because it's more stiff-like. And we're going to go in and stifle a little bit into the brush. I'm going to take a little bit over here, over it. And because it dries down to a powder, it should do great over top of powder, or I would think it would. I wouldn't think you would need to do this before you powder because it's got a highlighter, so it should go over well. You can see it's dry. It dries super quick. You can see the difference between the two. Like you can see that this one's definitely got more of the sheen to it. This one almost dries down a little more matte. So she dries down. It looks really shiny and you think it's going to be more of that shine, but it's got more of a matte finish to it. And this one works great with this lipstick. So it's really pretty and looks really great with red too. So I'm glad I picked up this shade. It's just a really nice, it's like, again, it's like I said, it's kind of like a more of a peachy than a mauve. I don't know why she called it mauve. I feel like it's more peachier than mauve-y, which I think is interesting. But I also saw an influencer not too long ago or I just watched it today that I saw them and they had all of these. They got it in PR. They got all of them. And she was watching all of them and they all have a similar undertone to them. So, they're not very different. They're not, I mean, they're just a little bit more, some are a little more brighter than others, but they're not that much different. So I think if you pick, you don't need all of these for sure if you were going to pick up one. And just so if you don't know, I'm a Natasha Denona affiliate. I have an affiliate link down below. If you use my code, you can save 15%. And that will help you on your purchase. So it will save you some money if you do go over there and you do gain Natasha Denona points. If you're part of that, I mean, I'm not pushing it if you guys are not looking for a blush, but you can save money and you get it really quick in shipping. Natasha ships really quickly and you get it in about 2 or 3 days. So, I mean, you can get it on, you can get this on Sephora and, it's also on Ulta. You just won't get the discount unless Ulta's throwing a discount or unless, it's during the Sephora sale, which would be something if you wanted to. The Sephora sale just won't, it's not going to happen for a little while though. It's going to probably be April or March, but you don't, unless you're just desperate for blush and you need a blush, I don't see the rush out to get this because this is going to stick around. It's permanent. It's not a limited edition release, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. But this is what it looks. It's how pretty that is. It's really pretty. It's very natural, but see how my skin just sucks up blush? It sucks it up. This is lasting more than this. See, this really blended in, and I keep adding, and I mean, and you can add, but it's just, my skin is just absorbing it. So typically, this would be really good if you wanted a really, 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 really natural look. Because I feel like this is going to go away. It's not going to last as long, especially with me being as dry as I am. And you guys saw how emollient I was in the beginning. So you know that I used a really emollient primer because I hadn't powdered yet. And my skin is just absorbing it so far. So yeah, I have to say this is just evaporates quicker is all. Now I heard with the highlighter, you need to do it with your finger. So the highlighter is kind of close to the blush color. So she's not like a lighter highlighter, like it's not a contrast. It's more of one that kind of blends in with the blush. Now, it does leave a really pretty glow. So I do like that, which matches this side a little bit more, which I'm going to take a little bit more over here to add a little bit more over top of that one. But this one already had a glow. But this one, I just feel like, I don't know how many times you guys counted. I didn't count how many times I built this up, like maybe 3 times, adding a little more. And you saw how much I kept applying with this one. Now this would look, the other one would actually look good over this one if you wanted to put it over it. But then it would be like with a highlighter and that would be a lot of highlighting. I mean, I like it. I mean, I like this one. It's nice. And again, I had gotten a gratis from Natasha Denona. I had a credit on my account. So I had some money in my account, so I didn't have to really spend anything on this or the brush. So it was a no-brainer for me. I didn't really have to use any money. So it wasn't me wasting any money on buying one of these. And since it was new, I thought, oh, well, you know what? I'll try it for you guys to see what you guys think, because I know a lot of people want to know about blushes and certain things. But this is why I don't buy a lot of blush, because I think like sometimes a lot of blushes can just mimic itself over and over and over again. And then we just end up having a bunch of blushes that we either don't use or that we just don't, that it's just not important to have. But I have to say, I like it. I mean, I can see it. But if I was to pick one, I think I would pick this one over this one. If I was to try one, if you were to ask me which one would you get, I think I would do the YSL and I would pick a color in it that you may really enjoy. I just think it's a little bit more pigmented. I just think it's still very creamy and it's very buttery and it's very blurring like, and I love the way that it looks. And I don't like the way this looks too. If you're a very natural person and you don't like use blush, or you don't like blush, or you're scared of blush, this would be better for you because this is so natural. You can't make a mistake with this. This would be super easy to use, and it has a highlighter with it. This one has a built-in highlighter, but you can also get it in a matte formula if you don't want the highlight, like if you don't want the glow, or if you're really oily and you don't need that sheen. But I gotta say, this is just really, I really do like this. Between the two though, this one is more like blurring. And I think it's because this one's got more of the glow to it, or more of the sheen to it. It's not as blurring. So I would say it's not as pore refining as this one is. This one has more of a pore refining because it dries more to like a powder finish. Where this one has got more of a sheen to it. Now the mattes probably would be more blurring. So just keep that in mind if you're looking for something, if you want your pores to look a bit more. Now let me do just one real quick thing. Let me take a little bit more of my powder, and I'll do it a little bit with my damp beauty blender here. And let's just take a little bit over this and just take down some of the shine and just see what she does. See how she does. Taking just a little bit over that. Okay, now that's what, if you set the blush down a little bit with a very, because the Huda powder it's got a very airbrush mattifying look to it. So that's kind of like, and you can still see the sheen, but it just took out some of the pores to make it look a little bit more smoother. I'm gonna take a little bit more. Do I have a little? Let me add a little bit more here. Just a little bit more over the Natasha. Let's just see what she looks like with a little bit more powder over her. Okay. Well, see now they look very similar. They look with the powder. It looks a little bit more, you can still, to me, it's still just a little bit more glowy on the side, but you can still see the glow here too. But I just feel like now with the powder, they look very similar. So you can see why I don't buy a lot of blushes, because most blushes all look the same on me. It doesn't matter whether they're pink, they're berry, or whatever. The only kind that really stands out, or something that is vivid as a really deep plum color or a red color, those are the only ones that really stick on my skin and stay, and they look different. But I have to say, I really like both of these. They're both pretty. They're just different. One has got more of a shimmer. One is a little more blurring. It's a little bit more, and then this one is a little bit more, it's got more of a powder finish. It's a little bit more mattifying. It looks a little bit more blurring in a different sense. This one blurs in a different sense. But they're both beautiful. So, I mean, it's just an option of what you're looking for. And if you want one with more built-in highlight, it has that with it. You could use both of them on your eyelid. If you wanted to do a little more of a monochromatic look, I think it would look really pretty on the eyes, actually. But yeah, and I mean, if you like these kind of colors, which actually I need a little bit more gloss because I'm getting down. I need more chocolate. Willy Wonka, it does taste really good. But anyway, but yeah, I like it. And then of course, this is like, this is nice. Again, do you need any of these? Do you need a liquid contour? Do you need a cream to powder blush with a highlighter in it? Or do you need a bougie blush that's $45 and a really pretty little compact? No, you don't. I mean, you can go and get something a lot less expensive and just as good in the, Ulta or in Walgreens or Walmart. You can find some really beautiful blushes there as well, or some cheaper ones in the Sephora collection if you don't want to spend that much. Or do you even need one? I mean, that's the whole thing. Do you even need one? So with that said, guys, we are done. I hope you kind of enjoyed this. I hope this helped out a little bit. Again, we'll play more with the Patrick Tile, and I will show you how beautiful it is. That is another one if you really wanted to pick that color up. It's just that particular color. it takes a special person to really want to buy that particular color. So that would be up to you on whether you wanted to spend the money on if you don't have a red, because it can be manipulated. It can be put down very beautifully. It goes on really smoothly. I just probably wouldn't recommend it for very light skin tone. Even though you could buff it down, it's very, very pigmented. So that would just, and especially if you're more pink, the red may make you look a little bit more splotchy. Or if you have rosacea or you have anything, I don't recommend a color like that because it's only going to make you look redder. So I would definitely, if you already have a natural pinkness or a lot of redness in your skin or whatever, I would definitely skip a red. I wouldn't do that. But if you're like me and you have my kind of a skin tone, or if you're if you're tan, deep, or dark, I think you would really enjoy the red, or maybe a light to medium. I think you would enjoy it too because it does give a beautiful brightness to the skin. But yeah, we'll play with that again in another video. So I'm sorry to disappoint you if we didn't put that one on. But anyway, let me know down below what you guys think of this video. You know, give it a thumbs up if you did, but welcome to the family if you did. Subscribe if you didn't and you didn't like this video. Well, then you know what? You can kiss it, okay? Just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I don't care. Kidding. I'm being silly. So anyway, hope you did enjoy this video. Remember, be safe, be strong, be proud, then love yourself. Remember, tell somebody that you love them today because life is way too short. And I love you guys so much with all my heart. Have a great day. Charlie says, hello, Charlie. Have a great rest of your day and take care, and we will see you again soon. Bye.